It has already been revealed that Broly will be the strongest enemy that Goku and Vegeta have ever fought against, telling us that Broly will be stronger than Jiren. Now, Jiren was a life form that we really didn't know too much about his species. He could have just been some sort of mutation which gave him tremendous strength, as well as he trained his entire life to get stronger. But seeing as how Goku and Vegeta have god forms, and they have actually evolved the god forms that they have numerous times, going up and up to the next level and the next level, going up against Broly, who doesn't even have god power, doesn't make sense. How can Broly, somebody who doesn't have god forms, take on Goku and Vegeta easily? How is he able to have that much power and that much speed that he can overwhelm potentially even Ultra Instinct Goku? Now, if we remember in the Tournament of Power, Ultra Instinct is supposed to dodge everything, but as we saw in episode 130, Goku was still taking hits from Jiren even with Ultra Instinct. So technically, if you're fast enough, you can power through Ultra Instinct. So that means that somehow Broly is going to be so fast and so strong that he's going to be able to overpower potentially Ultra Instinct. Now, we don't have confirmation yet that Ultra Instinct will be in the movie. I definitely believe that it is coming. So in this video, let's talk about the potential for Great Ape Broly, something that could potentially give him the upper hand even on Ultra Instinct, even if he doesn't have god forms to compete with. That's coming up right after this message from our sponsor. This month on Verve, all of your favorite Nickelodeon shows from the 90s are now streaming. Top shows like Doug, Cat Dog, Angry Beavers, Rugrats, All Grown Up can all be found right here on Verve, which you can try for free for 30 days by clicking on the link in the description, verve.co/MASTAR. Give it a try today. They also have all of your favorite anime in both sub and dub. And as always, you can take these shows with you on the go without even an internet connection. 30 days free, verve.co/MASTAR. Give it a shot. You won't be disappointed. Now, there is some speculation on whether or not Broly has a tail, but yes, he actually does. As we've seen from some promotional material, he definitely has a tail. His father, Paragus, has a tail, although Paragus may not actually be his biological father in this movie like he was in the first movie, but this leaves open the possibility for Great Ape. Anytime a Saiyan has a tail, the possibility for a Great Ape form is easily possible. As we saw in the fight with Goku and Vegeta, Vegeta was able to use the technique to create the artificial moon and turn into a Great Ape. Turles did this also in movie 3 in order to turn Gohan into a Great Ape, and most recently in Dragon Ball Heroes episode 3, the evil Saiyan Cumber used it in order to turn into a Great Ape. So now we've had 3 Saiyans with tails all using artificial moons in order to turn into the Great Ape. We also know that this Dragon Ball Super Broly movie will be taking place on other planets. We were recently introduced to the new planet Vamp, which will be coming and debuting in this Dragon Ball Super movie, and who knows on these different planets if they're fighting Broly, there could be multiple moons. I think that there is a good chance that we could get Great Ape Broly in this movie, because right now as it stands, it simply does not make sense that a Saiyan, even a legendary Super Saiyan or a Berserk Super Saiyan, should have the ability to surpass the power of the god forms. Even if you're Super Saiyan 3, it comes not even close to Super Saiyan God, as we saw in the battle between Goku Super Saiyan 3 versus Beerus. And as Goku transformed into Super Saiyan God, now all of a sudden he was able to compete with Beerus. Granted, at that point, Beerus was still not using his full power, but still, there was a dramatic increase in strength. So how can Broly, who can't even access the god forms, take on Goku and Vegeta, who do have the god forms? Is it just a power scaling problem? Or is Broly going to go into Great Ape form, which will give him the upper hand? Now, Great Ape form is only supposed to be a 10 times power boost, and typically the transformations between the Super Saiyan forms is a 50 times multiplier, meaning that even if Broly went into Great Ape form, it doesn't make any sense that he would now be able to take on gods. He's still way behind in terms of power. Now, knowing about the writing in Dragon Ball Super and how they do the power scaling, it's more than likely that they're just going to have Broly in his Super Saiyan form, his full power form, be able to be stronger than Super Saiyan Blue. As we saw from the trailer, we saw a non-Super Saiyan Broly taking on a Super Saiyan Blue Goku, which shouldn't make any sense and pretty much tells us right there that the power scaling scaling is going to be way off in this movie. That is, unless we find out some secret about Broly, about his birth, and maybe he has some kind of genes mixed in with him which give him the boost he needs in order to compete with gods. As we saw from the baby Saiyan incubator, maybe something strange is going on there, or it could just be nothing. That could just be an image of Broly as a baby in a Saiyan incubator. Now, if this is the case, if the power scaling is just simply off, by the time that Broly goes full power, blows off his armor, and his muscles go big, Goku and Super Saiyan Blue, undoubtedly even with Kaioken times 20, will stand absolutely no match against Broly. Now, if he is able to get Ultra Instinct, and he's able to effectively use it, mastered Ultra Instinct, and dodge all of Broly's attacks, what if Broly goes into Great Ape form and his fists and his arms and his attacks are just so massive that even Ultra Instinct can't dodge it? Now, Ultra Instinct, as we saw in Dragon Ball Super in the Tournament of Power, we saw that Goku was able to easily dodge punches, but what if that punch was so big that you simply couldn't dodge it? This potentially could give Great Ape Broly the upper hand against Ultra Instinct Goku. If Great Ape Broly uses a massive mouth laser and nukes the entire landscape, it doesn't matter how fast you are, you can't really dodge an attack of that scale. Technically, Goku could just use instantaneous movement and dodge it very easily, but Dragon Ball. And so it could be that that is how Great Ape Broly gets the upper hand on Ultra Instinct, if they decide to go that route in this movie. Now, Paragus is an old Saiyan, meaning that more than likely he has the knowledge of the artificial moon technique. Now, in the Ocean dub of Dragon Ball Z in English, Vegeta said that Goku's father was a great scientist who created the artificial moon technique, but that was not in the official translation for the sub. The Japanese never said that. In fact, they never said who actually invented this technique. But seeing as how Paragus is so old, he probably understands and knows how to do it. So if Broly gets desperate, either going up against Ultra Instinct or potentially Gogeta, we could in fact see Paragus use the artificial moon, turning Broly into a great ape and giving him back once again the upper hand. Now, Paragus has a tail, so he would probably transform as well, but we don't know how strong Paragus is. If we're going by the first movie, movie 8, with Broly's debut, he's probably not very strong. Now, the Z fighters are very used to taking on great ape forms, and they know that simply cutting off the tail with a Kienzan is the easiest way to get rid of the great ape form. Now, we know that Piccolo will be in this movie. We still don't know if Gohan's going to be in this movie, but if Vegeta's preoccupied with Frieza and Goku doesn't have a chance to cut off Broly's tail, we could see potentially Piccolo, is what I'm thinking, make an appearance, jump in, and cut off Broly's tail, which would in turn give Goku the upper hand once again. That is, hopefully, unless he hasn't gotten completely crushed by that point. Now, we have no idea what Piccolo's role is going to be in this movie. We don't even know if he's going to be fighting, but I think similarly to Beerus and Whis, he's probably just going to be on the sidelines giving commentary, which is kind of the new age Piccolo. It'd be nice to see him take on Paragus though. I think that would be very, very cool. So, Broly is going to need some kind of major power boost in order to take on either Ultra Instinct or Gogeta, whichever one it may be, and the Great Ape form is a potential out to that. It could also be that somehow Broly gets a god form of his own, and that somehow allows him to go up against Goku and Vegeta's god forms, but this doesn't really make any sense because Broly has had zero god training. He hasn't done the ritual, he hasn't had any training like Goku and Vegeta did with Whis, learning how to use mastery of self-movement. In fact, he's not very trained at all, as Vegeta said he's learning as he's fighting. And additionally, Super Saiyan Blue is perfect ki control, and as we know, Broly, unless they completely rewrite his character, which we know he's going to be different, but he's very berserk and can't control his power at all. So he's like the complete opposite of Super Saiyan Blue. Maybe he gets some brand new form entirely that really fits his personality and style, but I doubt that. I think it's more than likely that if he gets pushed to his limit, Great Ape is going to come and he's going to turn the tables back on Goku and Vegeta until his tail is cut off. However, that's a pretty generic story if you think about it. So hopefully, when this movie comes, they'll give us something unique and interesting. We may potentially get another trailer for the movie October 5th, which is during the New York York Comic Con. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications enabled, because if we get a new trailer, obviously I'm going to be there to break it down frame by frame and dissect it so we can talk about all the new information that we've learned. Just a reminder, guys, go check out verve.co/mastar. Use my code for 30 days free of Verve Premium and give it a shot. I'm Mastar. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll be talking to you guys very soon.